Every single one of us is familiar with the classroom. This is where so many of us learn the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic. And no matter where you live, the classroom is where so many of us first learn the skills that we need to eventually join the workforce and begin our careers. But this isn't just any classroom. This is a classroom focused on the future and the AI revolution that will create 97 million new jobs by 2025 and potentially deliver additional global economic activity of around 13 trillion by 2030. This is the classroom where teachers are equipping the future workforce with the technical confidence to learn and apply AI skills and shape the future. But who will fill these 97 million jobs? According to the 2023 Tech Report, approximately 63% of employees in the US tech sector are white. Estimates suggest that only 25% of tech jobs are held by women, with even lower numbers for Black, Latina, and Native American women at around 5%. With these stats in mind, how can we create new opportunities in tech for underrepresented populations, ultimately creating a more diverse pool of talent in the industry? How much work has to be done to close the AI skills gap for our future workers? And which teachers have been entrusted with this critical mission? Welcome to Technically Speaking, an Intel podcast, produced by iHeartMedia's Ruby Studio in partnership with Intel. In every episode, we explore how AI innovations are changing the world and revolutionising the way we live. Hey there, I'm your host, Graham Class. For the 7th episode of this season on Technically Speaking, we're headed back to school, but it very likely doesn't resemble your typical university lecture hall. This classroom is focused on teaching students some of the most sought-after skills in the emerging job landscape, artificial intelligence. In this episode, we will focus on the current AI skill crisis and why Intel is partnering with Dell for the AI for the Future Workforce program. We'll also examine how students enrolled in this program at a Texas community college are grasping onto this opportunity with both hands and embracing AI technology in the workplace. Before we go any further, let's welcome our guest, who's leading this charge. Joining us today is Dr. Madeline Burillo-Hopkins, the Vice Chancellor of Workforce Instruction and the President of Southwest College at Houston Community College in Texas. Dr. Burillo-Hopkins is responsible for the strategic vision and administrative leadership of workforce instruction for the district. And as President at Houston Community Southwest College, she oversees all operations at HCC's Southwest campuses, including the Center of Excellence in Digital and Information Technology. Welcome to the show, Madeline.
Thank you, Graham. What a pleasure to be here this morning, and I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to share with you and the listeners a little bit more about what we're doing at Houston Community College.
Yeah, it's interesting because in our first season, we did talk a little bit about how we can upskill students to be ready for the future trends in AI. But I'd like to get a little bit of a sense of your background. You've always been an advocate for workforce education, but I'd like to get a definition of what workforce instruction is and what does the term mean to you and others who work in your field?
So workforce instruction for me is really at the core of what we do at community colleges, in the sense of we're at the intersection of people looking for educational opportunities that will allow them to have the highest return on the investment of their time, as well as their economic resources to pay for that education. And the other intersection is, especially right now, employers seeking highly qualified people, especially for emerging jobs and careers. And we all know about the fact now it's been labeled as the AI era. These are actually exciting times to be living. I used to say, as an economics major, what would have been like to live in the times of industrial revolution and change? And I do feel like we're living in that same time frame in terms of how people are experiencing AI and how it's impacting the world around us. So, workforce education is anything that will allow people to be able to have a better life through the power of education and have jobs and careers that will allow them to sustain their families and have upper economic mobility.
Yeah, as you're talking about that, I was reminded back to my own experience where I just came into the workforce just as the internet was taking off, and I had to reskill myself to be able to take advantage of that. And I'd like to get a better sense of the Houston Community College where you work. And I'd like to get a sense of what the typical student is like and what their general career aspirations are and the reasons why they're studying there.
Well, Houston is the fourth largest metropolitan city in the country, and it's been labeled the most diversified city in terms of the demographics. And our student population reflects that of the city that we operate in. And we're very proud of that diversity. So about 35% of our students are Hispanic, another 29% are African American, about 20% are Asians, and about 17% white. And so it's a very good place where you can see what the world looks like today in terms of diversity. We do have, as an urban college, a large number of students that are low social economic and who are first generation college students. And we take that very, very seriously. And for me, it's personal. I'm a first college generation graduate in my family, daughter of immigrant and an immigrant. And so I have lived, and I'm an example of the power of education to transform lives. And so our students come to us exactly with that need and aspiration to be able to obtain an education at HCC that would allow them to change their lives and the generations after them.
Houston Community College serves roughly 80,000 students a year, spread over 6 regional locations, all attending the school from a variety of different backgrounds. The average age is roughly 25 years old, and 3/4 of the students are also working while they attend classes. HCC has 13 educational centres, focusing on various industries such as healthcare, energy, advanced manufacturing, and digital information technology. But I wanted to know about the school's outlook on AI, how the students are feeling about the rise of this new technology, and how it will affect their future.
So you ask, how do they feel? They're not fearful. Usually the older individuals are more fearful about, oh, it's going to do away with my job, or, how's my career is going to change. The students walk into that AI lab and they are curious, they're engaged, they want to learn more. What you see in their eyes is this awakening of the things that they can do with these tools, and that they can be what I call them, they're the next game changers. They're embracing AI and they are excited about the fact that they're the next creators, that their ideas can come to life with these tools, and that they, at Houston Community College, that they have a place where they not only can do that, they can learn the skills, and that they can get a credential, and that they can compete for these new emerging jobs.
With this collaboration space and the students getting together, are there any examples in your mind that stick out that really go, oh, wow, like I can't believe they've come up with that?
Yes. So, I have to say, I'm so thankful to Intel and Dell, because we would not be able to have a faculty that's trained and prepared to provide these tools to our students, right? So Intel's AI for Workforce program has been so critical for us, as well as some of our other tech partners. But an example, one of our students right now that is entering the competition, it's using AI, how to identify cancer cells at different stages by looking at the cancer cells. They are stage 1, 2, 3, or 4, and how to do that at a much earlier stage of diagnosis. So when I think about students actually looking at healthcare, I just think of the possibilities and the things that we're equipping our students with the capacity to create solutions for the future that are going to benefit humanity. And I'm excited and humble by the fact that we're able to be in a place that we're allowing that to happen.
Yeah. And also, I was just wondering what your thoughts around what are those skills gaps that need to be filled so that students can confidently go into not necessarily an AI tech job, but an existing job, but you're able to use those AI skills to enhance their productivity.
Well, technology skills are always very useful, but at the end of the day, it comes about people working together and working together well.
Mm.
So I do see AI allowing us to be able to bring people from different perspectives into teams and learning how to work together towards a problem solution. And that is what employers are seeking today, no matter in what sector you're in, the ability to articulate also what the problem is and what are we trying to solve. And I think about like prompt engineering, and somebody said, oh, well, AI is going to do everything and it's going to replace people. At the end of the day, it starts with somebody's thoughts and ideas that have to be articulated properly to the AI tool to be able to give you the outcome that you're seeking, right?
Mm.
I see AI also as a catalyst that will help our students learn how to communicate more effectively, because they have to learn the skill of prompt engineering, which requires them to articulate thoughts in a concise and clear way. And so to me, these are all what employers call soft skills that for years, I've been in workforce for a long time, workforce development, and those are things that always come up. And I see AI allowing us to do that, becoming more efficient, but allowing the people to use their thoughts and their human intelligence
Yes.
to be magnified and to be better used for more strategic thinking and problem solving than the routine tasks or tasks that require high computing levels that we couldn't do before. But at the end of the day, you still need a creative thought from an individual, from a person, to have that computer, that robot be able to give you the outcome that you're seeking.
Yeah. And I think it's really an exciting time because you might have a creative thought and use your imagination, but then you might get discouraged and say, oh, there's so much work and I have to do this, this, and this. And I've just been creating an app using AI co-pilots. And I don't think I would have even embarked on it if I didn't have this assistant with me to help me along the way. So I just think that there'll be more of that human creativity being able to get to the market or just get out into the world because of these tools.
Because AI will allow them to do that.
Yeah.
But these are all things that we are facing in the future. And I am so glad that we get to our students at Houston Community Colleges are going to be part of that economy. They're already part of the economy because they're being hired. Before they leave, people want them. All of the tech companies are realizing that in order to maximize the power of AI, particularly for the U.S., that they all need to come together and help build that next workforce. Everybody is going to need to be upskill and reskill and learn to use AI in their daily work in this 21st century. If we don't do this, we're going to have a huge digital divide. And for small businesses and medium-sized businesses, this can be a game changer for them.
I just wanted to go to the start and the genesis of the AI for the Future Workforce program. I read that Dell and Intel collaborated with the American Association of Community Colleges back in 2020. How did that program actually come onto your radar and how did it actually start?
Well, in 2017 at HCC, our faculty, even though people thought we were crazy, we saw what was coming. Everybody was using assistants. And as a center of excellence, our question was, what does that mean? And we saw the trends for AI growing. And really, we saw, so to speak, the exponential applications of AI for the future. And then we have a very strong cybersecurity program at HCC. So we immediately saw the connection and we decided we were going to launch one. It just happened that we had all the plans and everything ready to launch in fall of 2020. because it takes a couple of years to launch a program in higher ed. So our faculty had to get equipped to do the curriculum. So one of the things we did was, where can we get the curriculum to teach AI? And so we started reaching out. We figure out, well, the companies are doing this. So let's reach out to different companies that are training their staff. They have to have training materials. And somebody I knew told me Intel has a program that they're starting in Arizona with Maricopa. So I reached out, told them what we were doing in Texas. So Intel provided boot camps for our faculty in computer science to be equipped to teach AI skills. And so between their support, our faculty was really prepared to utilize that curriculum and integrate it into our associate's degree. So we launched a program in fall of 2020 with Intel support and Dell. And since then, they have been side by side with ACC and everything that we do. We have a fabulous AI lab that we've been very fortunate to have Pat Gelsinger visit us, their CEO.
Okay.
And I'm proud to say also that he's an alumni ACC because he got an honorary degree from ACC.
Right.
Because our students won the global competition in 2022.
Excellent.
And he came to see what was happening in this little community college. Intel has been providing the same type of professional development to build the capacity to teach these programs across the U.S.
So how many students go through that AI for Future Workforce program?
At Houston Community College, we started with 40 students. Today, we have almost 500 students.
Wow.
And we have also launched a bachelor's degree in applied technology in AI and robotics, the first in the country by a community college. So it's grown exponentially. And we've had students that walk down the hallway and see the AI lab and they get curious and say, can I come in there? And we tell them, and they change their majors. Then they tell other friends, family members. So it's been an exciting pathway to see the growth. We just want more community colleges in the country to do this. Our purpose would be to help other colleges launch these degree programs across the U.S. And obviously with Intel support and our other tech company support, Dell and Intel among them.
And you talked a little bit about how students were able to get jobs really quickly after they've completed their coursework. Can you give me some examples of the type of industries, the type of jobs that students have been able to get as a result of this program?
Yeah, so I have a list of examples. This is not inclusive of all of them, but I can tell you 2 of our students were recruited by Tesla. We have another student that went to work for a local pharmaceutical company here in the Houston area. We got a couple of folks that are working with some in technology companies. One student is working for a geoscanning company. We have 3 students that have, interesting enough, gone to work for Seed AI. And then we have had 4 students go to become NASA scholars after they left. And we have a large number of students that are transferring into our Bachelor's of Applied Technology because it didn't exist before and it doesn't exist anywhere in Texas.
You heard Dr. Burillo-Hopkins mention earlier that a number of students at the AI for Future Workforce program at Houston Community College are being hired as soon as they complete the program, or they have jobs lined up even before they graduate. These success stories come from a wide range of industries, like jobs in electric vehicles, pharmaceuticals, global management and consulting, geotechnical scanning, AI public policy, and even space aeronautics, just to name a few. But what's still paramount to the team at the AI for Future Workforce program at HCC is that this pathway to success remains accessible to all, regardless of a student's race, gender, or socioeconomic status.
So I mentioned earlier the demographics of our college in general, and our demographics of our programs are pretty similar. What I'm also very hopeful is that I see a lot of women going in the tech field, which we've had a huge gap in female participation in the technology industry. And about 30% of our students in the program are females. So I know that we're making a difference by providing that access. This year, we're doing summer camps that include AI skill sets for our middle school and high school students. We're also creating pathways of what we call here in Texas dual credit programming that allows a student in high school, when they're in the last few years, complete a high school diploma and also an associate's degree at the same time.
Wow.
So I talked about $14,000 for a bachelor's degree. If they take dual credit classes and complete their associate's degree while they're in high school, cut that in half.
Right.
Because that's half of the program.
Already done.
Already done. And then they graduate a lot sooner. And that means that they're going to enter the workforce a lot sooner. So their lifelong earnings will be a lot higher because they're going to enter a high demand field that's relevant, that has high wages, and their careers, long-term earnings will actually be, I think that they'll be doubled.
Yeah. Look, I'm a parent of teenagers myself. My eldest daughter is going through that decision-making process of what subjects to choose and all of that. I'm sure many of our listeners have teenagers going through that exact same thing. I'd like to know if you've got any tips to parents to help them guide their children in this crucial time of almost like feeling like you're deciding your whole life.
Well, listen, my youngest daughter went through that whole process not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
So what do I tell parents? Look for learning experiences that your local community colleges all offer, especially anything on STEM-related opportunities. Look what your local community college has. Many of times, these programs are free of charge because it's part of the mission of the colleges. As a parent, ask your school principal and your superintendents, what are y'all doing about AI education at our schools? Our kids need to learn this. So become an advocate for your own children, right? Provide experiences for them to explore in a safe environment, which is your schools. Find ways to get your kids to learn the new technology. It's impacting their life, and it's going to be a must for them to be proficient, to be able to be successful, and to have careers with livable wages in the future. So that's what I would say to the parents that are listening.
Excellent. And in terms of the AI for the Future Workforce program, if other college professors and administrators are listening to this, how can they get involved in that program?
Well, I would say contact your local Intel regional contact. But if they want to, Houston Community College, Miami-Dade, Maricopa College, all three of us are committed to helping other colleges. And they can also contact the American Association of Community Colleges, the Workforce Division, and they will put them in contact with those like myself and others that are leading this pathway of building the next workforce of the 21st century in the AI era. So just reach out to a AACC or to us at Houston Community College or the other two colleges. We'll be happy to help them through this process.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you, Graham. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you to Dr. Madeline Burillo-Hopkins for her expertise in today's episode of Technically Speaking. For our regular listeners, in Season 1, Episode 7, we discussed the importance of upskilling workers to take advantage of the AI explosion we are all now witnessing. So it was a real pleasure to talk with Madeline about the tangible strides Houston Community College has taken to provide those crucial AI skills for students. I could sense the pride Madeline has in providing these opportunities to students from all backgrounds to enjoy the benefits of this exciting technology. In particular, I love the fact that she was willing to promote other colleges trying to achieve a similar mission and to be a model for other institutions to emulate. I believe that AI skills such as prompt engineering, And, as strange as it may sound, being able to communicate properly with AI agents, it will set you apart from others and enable you to focus on true creativity and innovation. I think the students and teachers of AI programs at institutions like Houston Community College will truly help bring AI everywhere. Next time, on our final episode of Season 2, we're bringing home the gold medal as we look at how AI will help change our experience of the Olympic and Paralympic Games. So join us on July 16th for this very special episode of Technically Speaking, an Intel podcast. Technically Speaking was produced by Ruby Studio from iHeartRadio in partnership with Intel and hosted by me, Graham Class. Our executive producer is Molly Sosha. Our EP of post-production is James Foster. And our supervising producer is Nakia Swinton. This episode was edited by Sierra Spreen and written by Nick Fershaw.